Okay then, guys, I think we'll make a start. Louise and I are going to do a quick Zoom call. We're going to chat about being you and portraying you on your Facebook. I think that's something that's really key. And we've just been chatting, Louise and I have just been chatting about ourselves or between ourselves as to what we find we like about what each other are doing. And I think that's really key. So I think Lou said she'd get started first, seeing she's just done her singing video. She's Mariah Carey now. So if you haven't heard that one or listened to it, Terry, who's also on here, has done hers as well. So that's absolutely brilliant.
Patricia did hers.
That's right. So I've got to go through them later on and get you added. So that's really good for stepping out of your comfort zone, because trust me, I wasn't going to do it. I didn't want to do it either. I really didn't want to do it. But when I realised I could go on YouTube and I could find the lyrics and someone singing with me, I thought, result, I can do that. And I love the way Sarah twisted the words to say that she hated us. That was really funny. I loved it. I absolutely loved watching them, actually. And it's really cheered us up, you know. There's been some really good ones, some really funny ones, some tear jerkers, and some really just some great fun. And really, that's what this Zoom call's all about. It's about having fun. And so if I pass you over to Louise, and we'll see how we go from there.
Hi, everyone. So, yeah, me and Jannette obviously just wanted to go through with you about it. This business is all about having fun, and you know, one of the tasks, obviously the singing task, was exactly that. It was just about showing that this business isn't all about you know, well, it's about getting into your comfort zone and not taking yourself too seriously and having fun. I think sometimes we can get bogged down by, we're not achieving anything, we're not on our next promotion, we need to be doing this, we need to be doing that, and everything can get so complicated. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, this business should be really, really fun. And one of the things that John Holowatty says all the time is, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. And that's what we need to show to everyone on our Facebook, is that we're really enjoying it. And me and Jannette, she said, we're talking, and I said to Jannette that over the past few weeks, where she's really been showing that she's not now working full time, you know, I've been able to watch her Facebook and how it's changed, and she, you know, she's having so much fun, and I want to be involved in that. You know, we already are, but that's what we need to be creating. We want people to be watching us and go, God, they're having so much fun, and they're in a really supportive, you know, the Diamond Dreamers is a really supportive network of incredible people. I want to be involved in that. I think when we're constantly posting, I'm looking for team members, that almost makes us sound a little bit desperate. Whereas if you can show, you know, who else wants to join in this fun that we're having, and ask questions, and people are going to get back to you that way. And I think it just shows that people, you know, want to get involved. And every day people are, you know, posting negative things on Facebook because they're really unhappy with their life. And, you know, we're involved in such an incredible community of people, and I think that's what we need to really focus on showing, and, you know, being yourself. And one of the things that, you know, that video singing terrified me, I have to say. I got really, really hot halfway through. I think I went as red as the tomato, and it's, you know, it's not me at all. And if somebody had said that to me a year ago, there is just no way I would have done it. But at the end of the day, you know, like me and Jannette said, one, what's the worst thing that could happen? I'm not a professional singer, so I'm never going to sound, unfortunately, like Mariah Carey, as much as I think I do in the shower. But you know what I mean? It's not about that. It's about just having a little bit of fun with it and not taking yourself too seriously. I know I'm repeating myself now, but and how you feel afterwards. You feel really, really proud of yourself and really like, oh, I've done that. Right, what can I do next? Like, you always have that feeling of, like, sense of achievement almost. But I've done that. I really feel fired up. I'm going to go and do something else now. Like, I want to take over the world now. Do you know what I mean? And you get a bit like that, like, well, just move on. And like, I can do anything now. So if someone comes over to you and says something like, oh, your business is rubbish, or I'm not interested. Okay, that's cool. Fine. Move on. Next person. You know, and another thing that me and Jannette were talking about is we constantly get really, really focused on the no's that we get, and oh my god, she didn't want to buy the product off me, or I must have said something wrong, or I must have pitched it wrong, or same with the business, she didn't want to join my team. And I've been following a lady in in Australia, called Linda Evenden, and she is the top earner in Australia for Juice Plus, and she's absolutely incredible. And she's got quite a few Zooms that she puts on YouTube, and I've been listening to her recently because, you know, self-development, I cannot stress to you how important self-development is, because yesterday morning, for instance, my husband works away most of the time, so not that I'm a single parent, but it does feel like it at the moment, and sometimes I do think the thought of sitting down and doing this business, sometimes it's not my number one top priority. But I listened to the women's panel from GoPro yesterday morning, and it just got me fired up. I was like, actually, do you know what? I am going to make time for this business, because, you know, I want what these women have. I want to be successful. I want to, you know, my kids to be able to look at me and think, my God, my mum did that. And that's what self-development's all about. It's all about creating this just unshakable belief that we have in the business and the product and yourself. So if someone comes up to you and says, I'm not interested, that's okay, that's absolutely fine. Go and find someone who is. So this is slightly what Linda Evenden was talking about. You know, we would be absolutely crazy to think that every single person that we spoke to is interested in Juice Plus product or the business. So if you actually get that out of your head, and not go for no, because I don't think personally people are never a no. I think they always come back to you, especially if they've shown interest, if they've liked or commented on something of yours, then they are interested. They're going to come back to you. But they might say, like, I've been speaking to quite a few people at the moment, and a lot of the thing I keep getting back is time. I haven't got the time. And I always say, you know, it's coming back to that feel, felt, found. I know exactly how you feel, because I felt the same when I first started. That was the first thing I said to Amy when she approached me about the business. I'm really sorry. And I think it's often an excuse that just comes up because we don't think we have the time. You know, when I first joined the business, I didn't think I had the time, but actually I did. I just gave up watching telly. And I think, you know, if we just explain that we felt the same, then people, again, they're going to watch you. And another thing that I always explain to people is, I didn't have the time when I first joined the business, but what it's done for me now is it's given me time, and it's given me, you know, I've been able to leave my full-time job and stay at home with my children. That's what this business has done for me. So although I didn't have the time at the beginning, by sort of thinking forward and thinking where this business can take me, it's given me the time to be able to do this business around my children. And by saying that to someone, she was like, oh, actually, I had no idea that it could do that. And, you know, and it's not about just thinking, all right, she said no, so I'm going to move on to the next person. Really find out, you know, what their reasons are, and talk to them and say, that's okay, I felt the same. And it's not being pushy. And I always, you know, say that to people, I hope you don't think I'm being pushy, but this is, you know, that's exactly how I felt, and this is what I found. And, you know, even again, if they don't come back to you and join your team or buy the product straight away, they still will, because they're then going to watch you. And that's why it's then so important to be, you know, really fun and energetic on your Facebook, and not just be this Juice Plus robot and constantly posting before and after photos. We all know they work, but it's really important to share your own results and just to be you, and to be, you know, that is what people are going to buy into. They're going to buy into you. They're not going to buy into this person who's copied and pasted everything that they've posted about. It's so much better to post 3 statuses, I think, that have come from you completely, than to do your 3 times 3 times 3 but have copied it from somebody else. So it's really, personally, I think it's, you know, it's going to work much better that way. And just to really, you know, just really think about what you want from the business, and, you know, keep working on that self-development, keep really focusing on being the best version of you that you can be. And yeah, just going out and having fun with it. Just, you know, showing that this business is about fun.
Brilliant. Lovely. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Lou. That's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I mean, you know, speaking from your heart there, and sharing some really golden tips with us, because, you know, I'm going to find that Lyndon Evenden. Is she on Facebook, Lou, or is she on?
Yeah, she's on Facebook. And she was actually, when I first started working with Simon Mitchell, he introduced me to her. So I messaged her a few times at the very beginning, and she's lovely. She, you know, she's got a massive team, but she always messaged me back as well. And I messaged her last week just to say, you know, I've been watching some of your Zoom calls, and they're really, you know, they've really inspired me. And again, she messaged me back. So
Oh, that's
something yeah, you know. And I remember once she liked one of my posts, and I was like, oh my God, she's like a celebrity. She liked one of my posts. So, but yeah, she's really amazing. So I'll definitely follow her on Facebook, because she's she's brilliant.
So we follow her on Facebook, and she's also got a YouTube channel which we can easily find, can we?
Yeah, if you just put in, I'll just put her name in. I've just put it in the chat so everyone can see how it's spelled.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, if you just put in YouTube, when you search it, Linda Evenden, all of her stuff will come up.
Okay.
And there's one, she does like power hours, and there's another lady out there called Kira Westwick, and she's another brilliant. She's just gone Club 100. Her husband's in the business, who's just gone Club 200. And Linda is underneath Lauren Slocum.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, so Lauren, obviously, I think Lauren's spoken about her in her story, because she borrowed the money to buy the ticket to go to Australia to sign up Linda and get her started, and that's how it all started. Oh, so yeah, that's who she's, obviously that's where she's come from, but she's got an incredible team. And yeah, some of the things they do is it just, yeah, it makes sense, and it's just it's a little bit different to how we do it. But it's all very, you know, it's just all about just coming from you and being you.
Brilliant. Okay, Lou, that's great. I shall certainly have a look and follow her, and see what I can find, because, you know, the tips that we can pick up from all sorts of people around the world is absolutely phenomenal. She's in Juice Plus, as you say, you know, and we can still learn from all these people, and these are sort of absolutely golden nuggets. So I don't know if we've got any new people on the call, but I just was briefly going to introduce myself. I'm Jannette. I'm Amy's mum. I didn't think I could do this business. I didn't do Facebook. I didn't have any friends on Facebook. I only had friends that I followed as far as Amy was concerned, to keep an eye on her when she was growing up, her and Joe, just like most of us do with our younger children. So when she said to me, when I finally got on the product, and she said about doing the business, I said, you must be joking. I could not do that. I could not post on Facebook. I wouldn't want to do that. So I didn't think I could do it at all. But what she suggested was that I went to the local pubs, which is really what we're going back to now, and doing these little catch-ups that we're doing, and we're recommending you all to do throughout the team, really. Is go and have a catch up. You only need to go out yourself to the Costa Coffee, put on Facebook that's where you're going, and see if you can get people to join you. People will join you, and what I find works so well about that is that people will walk into the Costa Coffee or the garden centre, which I know is just where Flick goes, or somewhere like that. They will walk in. They don't have to come over to you. It's not like being in a room, sort of like at an event. So they can actually come in, they can go and get their cup of coffee, cup of tea, and then they can decide whether to come over, and they can watch you and then go away that day, maybe come back another time. And it's not high pressured stuff. They don't feel you're going to shut the door behind them and not let them in. So I find that works really well. So going back to that, that's what I thought, yeah, do you know what, I can do that. So I started in this business in 2013 and didn't think I could do it on Facebook. But I thought, you know what, I know what I can do. I can go on all Amy's friends, and I can add their parents, because I can remember them from school. So that's one of the things I did. And right from the beginning, I always added people, and any of my new people that are starting, I say to them, they absolutely must build their audience. 200 people, 500 people is absolutely not enough. 1,500 people is not enough. If you've not got, if you're not getting much response on your Facebook, then you haven't got enough of an audience, and you're not interacting with your audience enough either. So I can't stress it enough that right from the beginning, lots of people will get lots of sales often in the beginning. because their audience that they're connecting with, maybe 200 or 300 people, they're all happy to buy then. But then all of a sudden they're either been customers, they've said no, or they're not interested, or they've flicked past you because you're doing too much about Juice Plus. So you must get more of an audience. I really quite like adding people, because when you're adding people, I keep thinking to myself, that's another NMD, that's another NMD, that's another NMD, that's someone I can change their life. I can change their life too. They can join my team. They're going to be lovely in my team, you know? And I absolutely love adding people now. I was really worried about it at the beginning. What were they going to say to me? All that sort of thing. But I think the Facebook community has got used to people adding you now. And as long as you aren't, I've got to be careful what I say, really. As long as you aren't a bloke and looking a bit weird in the military or something like that, you know, then you accept them, don't you? You know, at the end of the day, if you don't like what they're posting, you can soon delete them and block them. And I think people are realising that a lot more now. I certainly am, and I'm much more confident in adding people. So adding people is an absolute must. And then, like Louise has said, you know, you've got to be yourself on Facebook. Look, we're all doing Juice Plus. We're all Juice Plus, but we're all different. And we've all got a totally different audience. And we've all got to portray ourselves as ourselves and not as anyone else. So don't try and copy anyone else, but just try and have fun with it. That's something that certainly since these live videos have been going, that I've been able to do. I've been trying to have a little bit more fun with things and be silly. I get off the Zoom, I get off them, and I think to myself, oh my God, what did I say? What did I do? Oh God, what did I sound like? Oh my God, that's terrible. You know, and then Matt will laugh. You said 20 ums, Jannette, he says, you know, and I get, and then the more I think about it, the more I do it, and then I do something wrong, and then the dog will crash into, because I've got a tripod that I hang on put the phone on a tripod, so I haven't got to hold my phone like that. And then the dog will crash into the tripod and it'll fall on the floor, all those sort of things. But that's actually what people like to see. People like to see you being normal. And, you know, and if things go wrong, they'll actually like to watch you, because they think it's going to be funny. They're going to watch you with things going wrong next time. So, as I say, I've been in here in the business since 2013. I've always been extremely busy, been self-employed, doing the horses, trying to, as the horse business got less, I had to go out and find a bit of a, 9-to-5 job for a little while, and then I didn't like that, and then I tried something else, and I've always been dodging and dabbling about and doing different things. So, trying to do this is sort of, I'm ever so busy. We've all been really mad. We've all been really busy, but we, like Louise say, some people struggle to fit it in, and I didn't think I could fit it in either. But you fit it in the nooks and crannies of the day. And the other thing I found is I used to go to bed at 9 o'clock, and now I don't go to bed until midnight. So because I've been on the products have given me the energy and the better quality sleep that I stay up longer. So I actually build my business in the hours that I used to go to sleep, between 9 and 12. So I often tell people that, and you've got to tell these people these things. So I was extremely busy myself, and I didn't think I could do it. But one thing I did want is, I knew that I was coming up to 50 and I wasn't going to be able to carry on at the rate that I was, and I wanted a better life. And I could only see that this being the opportunity to do it. So for me, that was absolutely worth working hard, as I always have done, and as I'm sure you guys all do too. But it was well worth working hard, because I've actually been able to leave my full-time job. I mean, I got into childmind. I've been childminding for 12 years. And I love the childmind, and I love looking after the children, don't get me wrong. But to now be able not to have to do that, and to concentrate a little bit more on Juice Plus, and to have some freedom. I don't actually ever say that I'm doing full-time Juice Plus. I don't think that's the right thing to say. I actually say that I do part-time Juice Plus, and the other part-time is freedom. and my time, because I think if you say you're going to go and do Juice Plus full time, then I don't think that's the right, personally, I don't think that's the right thing to portray. So I try to make sure that I go out and do things in the day, and really it's about having fun on your Facebook. I can't stress that enough. I know we've got these couple of groups set up where we're sharing posts, and they're just ideas, and it's great to I find that I use those 2 groups that we've got, so if I'm struggling, I think, I've quickly got to go out, I haven't got a post going up, and I quickly go in there and do one. But predominantly all mine are done by myself. I don't like to copy and paste too much, but that's there for me if I need to. And that's the same for new people. But what worries me a bit is new people getting into those groups and just copying everything and copying all the Juice Plus things, because that's not what we want to be doing. We don't want to be copying just Juice Plus. I mean, we need to tell people that we're having these capsules and we're having these shakes. By all means, tell people that, but don't necessarily mention the words Juice Plus. Just go and have some fun with it. Because I think that's really important. As I say, totally be yourself. Try and find out what it is about you that's funny, what you're doing, whether you're into horses, whether you're into dogs, whether you've got lots of children. Let people know your pains and gains, so that you can share those with people. Because if you can show your pains, and by that I mean, like for example, the other day I was saying that I hated Christmas years ago because of the financial strain of it, and then I'd have to take all January and February to pay for things, and it was an absolute nightmare, and I never got my Christmas shopping done very early because I couldn't decide what to buy people, and then by the time the week before Christmas came, I thought, oh sod it, I'll just have to buy everything and put it on the credit card and sort it out next time. Well, if you're thinking like that, and I have to try and remind myself that that's what I used to think like, because that's what the posts are that I need to be posting now. And you just sort of little one-liners. Like the other day I put a post up there saying, who walks back from putting the horses out on the field checking their mobile phone? Who walks up to the school checking the mobile phone? Who stands in the school playground checking the mobile phone? Who sits at the traffic lights checking their mobile phone? And then, which you shouldn't be doing, Matt tells me, which I know you shouldn't, but who does these things? And then you can then sort of say, well, how about getting paid for doing that? And that's not a big status about join my team, I'm looking for 5 new members. They're quite subtle, indirect ones, and I think those ones are really good to do. And now I might say, oh, thank goodness I've been able to do this, and what a difference it is, all of those sort of things. So I'm able to portray that now, but you guys have the same opportunity to be able to portray that. You be able to portray what's going on in your life, because people will connect with you. I mean, I try to post a bit about pensions and not having a pension, being self-employed all the time and running my own business in that way. I have no pension, none whatsoever. And so really this business is my pension, it's my retention. And that sort of thing would spark off something interesting in someone. Obviously a lot of you girls are a lot younger than me, so therefore pension is the last thing from your mind. But that is something that we do need to sort of consider, really. So I do think that's all these little things of how I can be different to what you are, and you can be different to what we all are. And I just think that's all really key. So having fun, getting out your comfort zone. And I think this new group that we've set up, I think is going to be phenomenal. I think that's created an awful lot of excitement just at the right time, at the end of the year, when we sort of look back at things and say, well, this year hasn't been quite as good as I thought it would be, and I want better for 2017, and I'm excited about 2017. Who's going to join me? That's the other thing. Keep posting about the excitement that you have. Excitement is such an amazing thing, because other people on their Facebook and people in their lives, they're not excited by life, they're not looking forward to life. you know, and we just need to post about those sort of things, you know, that we're excited. And the other thing I think we need to post about an awful lot is the community, the secret community behind Facebook that we're all part of. You know, the excitement in the team group is amazing, you know, the interaction, the support, the community between ourselves. Because, to be honest, the friends that I've built between you guys that have been in the business a long time, and even those that are new to the team, the friendships that we've built are absolutely fantastic, you know. I can't stress it enough, you know. I really can't. I have not got friends really like you in normal life, and I really thank you all for that, because that is so important, you know, and we need to tell people about that. You know, if I think back to when I've got my children small, that's lonely, you know. It's a lonely life, you know. You have late nights, you get up in the morning and you take the children to school and you go and get what you've done in the day. Some mums are literally sitting on the sofa watching daytime TV and got nothing much else to do, you know. And I've seen it time and time before, heard it in the playground before, you know. And we've got that opportunity to help those and do those sort of things. So, you know, connect with people, post about about what you're doing is absolutely key, and the community that we're so privileged to be part of. You know, we need to definitely be posting about that. What else? Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, stepping out of your comfort zone about these tasks and different things. I went to Q School, and you guys this next year coming would have the chance to go to Q School too. It's where the company selects a few people that their businesses are flying, and they've got the structure to go Q or BQ, to BQ and therefore BNMD, and they get you doing things. Now, I went to that one and I was scared of heights, and they had me going up the top of a telegraph pole, and 4 of us standing on a sort of 2-foot square plate of wood. And if you'd have told me that I'd have been doing that, I never in a million years would have been doing that. But, you know, when I went up that, I had safety harness on. When I got to the top, I felt I could conquer anything, and it totally changed me. So that's why these silly little tasks, these funny little tasks that we do are so important. I mean, Louise and I have been in Simon Mitchell's group, and he set us some simple sort of tasks, and we're going to try and filter those down to you. But, you know, if you're not ready for doing some of these tasks, that's absolutely fine. That's totally up to you, you know. We've been in the business, as you know, three years, and what I find is your business grows, then your business plateaus out and very often drops back again, and you think, oh, I don't want it to drop back anymore. I enjoyed that when it was up at that height and that level. That must mean that I've got to create, I've got to do more myself, I've got to grow as a person. So in the quiet months that maybe you're not getting quite so much custom or quite so much team or whatever else, I beg you, please go and do some personal development. I can't stress it enough. I've been listening to GoPro quite a few times. I've listened to it quite a few times throughout being in this business, and every time I go back to it, I hear new things. I absolutely hear new things. And again, I can't stress that enough. I've heard people say, yeah, I've listened to GoPro, I've listened to it 10 times. Yeah, that's right. You listened to it 10 times last year. This is this year. You've already grown as a person a little bit more, so you're more receptive to particular things. So, and you actually understand what he's getting on about, and that goes for any of the personal development things. So I can't stress that enough. In this new Rise and Diamond Dreamers group, I'm going to be doing a bit of a study on the GoPro book, and I want to do the sort of thing I've got in mind as I want to do a chapter at a time, and we want to sort of take a week to listen to the chapter quite a few times and share notes about what we've taken from it, and then work together as to what I've got from that particular chapter and what you've got from that particular chapter, and how we can work together to try and put some of his 7 principles into practice. Because since in the last sort of month, since I've been listening to his book, listening to the audio, I've actually started putting those things into practice, and it's already making a phenomenal difference. So I'm really excited about lots of the things I want to be doing. There's some Jim Rohn's book is the word I'm trying to think of. Jim Rohn's book is another good thing to listen to, audio. They're about £2 off Amazon. Not Amazon, off iTunes or iBooks. That's the one I'm talking about, iBooks. I've got them on my iBooks. Beach Money is another really good one. Obviously The Secret. So anyone that's got any recommendations of any of those, then that's absolutely great.
Girl Code is another really good one.
Which one?
Girl Code.
The what code? Girl Code. Yeah, that's right. Girl Code is good, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Girl Code. I'm not much of a reader. I can read a page when I get to bed, and then I'm asleep. I'm zonked out. I absolutely cannot.
But I'm not good.
Yeah, so I can't. So audio books, and I've got myself some headphones, and you're going to laugh because I got them from Aldi. Aldi have got headphones at the moment for £15, and they are Bluetooth, and they are amazing. So I've been wearing those over the yard, and that's just been brilliant. I'm miles away in that, and really, really helps ever so much doing that. So I can't stress that enough. If you've got a time of day, I know Sarah listens to it in her van when she's at work. You need to find a time when you can listen to yours, because personal development is absolutely second to none.
If you don't grow as a person in business.
Yeah, and like Matt's, I've got Matt chipping at my ear here. That's all right. That's fine. I want your content too.
Involve Matt.
Yeah, that's right. And if you don't grow as a person, your business won't grow. Because that is really, really key. You need to grow, and you hear it all the time. That in order for your business to grow, you have to grow as a person. So I think I've been over most of my notes that I'd written down. I'm happy to do a bit of a question and answer if anyone's interested, or if anyone. How do you access GoPro? GoPro is a book that's on. I downloaded mine from iBooks on my iPhone, and I think it was £2, something like that. But I believe you can even find it for free on YouTube. A lot of them. But then you'd be using your mobile data, whereas I use mine on my iBooks. I don't use my mobile data. So whatever suits. Pardon?
I didn't know that. I didn't think about that actually.
What about using your mobile data?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's using your mobile data, or because you're streaming it down from YouTube. But if you actually download it onto your iBooks or something like that, then
anyway, yeah.
Then you're just using it straight away like that. So that's absolutely key. I'll just see if there's any other questions on here. Eric Worry GoPro, yeah, that's right. CD or on Amazon, yeah, that's right. That's exactly what. So if anyone else has got any recommendations for any books or got any questions for us, certainly I'd like to go over another. Do another Zoom call is what I'm trying to say, on keeping motivated, not keeping motivated, keeping posting and keep going in the sort of 4 or 5 months after you've been in the business. And I know Cara wanted to do a Zoom call basically on our trials and tribulations, wanting to know what struggles that we'd had. Is that right, wasn't it, Cara? So, because all we tend to hear all the time is, this is amazing, this is brilliant, I've absolutely stormed it, I've had a fantastic time, And yeah, we do. But there are, in life, in anything, there are some rough times too. So, if you want to know about those, then you know, we can, if you think they'll inspire you and help you, we'll tell you about those as well.
We did do a while ago, actually, Cara. I think it was maybe last month or the month before, and it is in the Diamond Dreamer page, basically about that. Just saying, like, it doesn't matter if you don't storm it, and some of us haven't raced to the top, but, you know, and sort of our journeys. And we had Lauren, who was at Who Run the World, she got on it, and Jannette was on it as well. So we did that. I'm trying to think when it was. But there is already a call. I mean, obviously we're happy to do another one, but there is already a call if you do want to listen to it or pass it on to any of your teams.
Okay, that's brilliant. So does anyone ever talk to people about the products of the business and then they seem eager, etc., but then they stop, they just stop replying to you? Yeah, well, that happens to me every time, all of the time. Do you just leave them be after that, or do you keep up with them, catch up messages or so? Yeah, I mean, they, again, as far as I'm concerned, they're always going on about the follow-up. You know, the fortune is in the follow-up, and if I look back, I'm not been marvellous at my follow-up either. I think that's an area that I can actually improve on. And again, good old Eric Worry on GoPro is just talking to us about the follow-up. And one of the things I've found that he's said is that every time you talk to people, whether it be about the product or the business, and I found this quite key, is you don't stop talking to them until you get them to their next exposure.
Yeah.
Now, I'd heard that hundreds of times before, but that hadn't gone in. But what I see about that is you'll say to them something like, I don't know, they want to know you've asked them all the questions, you've related to them, and you've chatted with them, and they want to know the product prices, and you've asked what they would need the product for, and you've sort of chatted to them about that over quite a while, and they know the prices, so you've given the prices, and you need to ask a question at the end that will say something like, so would you start paying in full or paying monthly? Would you start with the vanilla shakes or the chocolate shakes? You need to ask two questions that gives them, they say, oh, well, I'll start with a vanilla or whatever. I'll start with a question that needs an answer. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's really key. But also to say, you know, that where are you with starting out of 1 to 10? 1 being you're not interested, and 10 being you're ready to get started. Now, that could be with the business or the product. I'd always assume that was just with the business, but that could be with the product too. So then you could say, and they say, well, that's a 5. So you say, okay, well, how do I get you to be a higher up? What are your things you're concerned about, or whatever? So then they'll say, well, you know, I think it's too expensive, or us this, or us that. So you can then answer that question for them, and put that, you know, help them with that. And then you can say to them, now where are you? And they'll say, well, I'm a 7 now. And you'll say, okay, so what's stopping you from being a 10? So they'll give you another pointer as to what the issue is. So I thought you could I only ever did that to the business. I've never really done that with the product. But that's something that I've started doing with the product. So I don't really get off. I'm trying not to now over the last few weeks, is not to get off an answer, not off a conversation without getting them with the next exposure. Because some people need, you know, some people aren't just going to buy the product or join the business just like that. So you need to be saying to yourself, you know, that they might need 6 exposures to it. So that might be a load of videos, that might be lots of questions, that might be all sorts of things. But, you know, that's something I think that I've never really done, and I've only just started to do recently. Yet I've heard GoPro 10, 15 times. So, well, even more than that, maybe Matt's saying. So if you know, I'm happy to go over this in a little bit more detail, but these are the sort of things I want to try and cover in this Rise and Diamond Dreamers. So if you haven't done your video of your why, then really, trust me, it isn't too late. Get in there and do it if you're not in the group, because, you know, these are all the sort of things that we want to cover. And I just also want to say that the group is not really about posting anything motivational in there. We still want to do that in the Diamond Dreamers group. The things that we only want to do in this Rising Diamond Dreamers really is about the tasks and interaction about the tasks. Who's getting on with the tasks? Who's having trouble with the tasks? You know, it doesn't need to be me or Amy or anyone else, or Louise or anyone leaving these comments. You guys can ask in there too. You can say, you know, I'm struggling with task 1 or 2 or whatever it is. Have any of you got any ideas, you know, on how, hang on a minute, on how, you know, you're overcoming them and that, or you're sorting them out? So that would be great. So to see some interaction between yourselves about the tasks would be phenomenal. Ask each other about the tasks. So we're still going to use the normal Diamond Dreamers group for what we normally talk about and motivational stuff, you know, some sort of random sort of posts, that sort of thing. And I want to save the Rising Stars really for just interaction between us, and about the tasks and everything to do with the tasks. So if you've got any normal questions about your business in general, then put that in the Diamond Dreamers group, because we don't want, you know, let that fall to nothing. That doesn't want to be quiet. I still want to be doing things in that. So if you get what I mean on that, that would be great. So don't feel you've got to start posting motivational stuff in the Rising group, Diamond Dreamers group. Carry on with doing that if you are in the Diamond Dreamers group, if you get what I mean. So was there any other questions? So you missed it. What did you miss, Cara? Did you miss the... Oh, you're going to try and find it. I'm just catching up with these messages.
Yeah, I've just messaged Cara and said I can't find it, but I'm going to keep looking because I can't remember if we did record it or not.
Okay.
So I'll find it if I can.
Amy also had her YouTube channel open and public, but it's not public at the moment. So if you need to look at any of her stuff, I think you have to message us and find the link, and I can help you with that somewhere along the line. So let me know about that. But about if you've said in the chat, if they don't respond after you've asked the question, yeah, there's a sort of a formula that I picked up from the recruitment event that I went to. I believe it's something like 24 hours, 3 days, 5 days, a week after that, and then forget them. Pretty much something like that. So again, these are all the sort of tips that we're going to be sharing in the Rising Diamond Dreamers group, so that, you know, we can you know, keep up with that. And really it's just a question of working out what works for you, as far as whether you have to put a reminder on your phone or whatever, whether you're going to get back to them, or something in your diary. You've got to work out what works for you. So unless there's any more questions, I've sort of done with, really, unless there's anyone else that wants to say anything. I don't know whether Flick had got anything to say, whether she's disappeared, because she's had trouble with her children tonight, I think. She was going to speak. I don't know whether anything comes to mind, Louise?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, it's gone on quite long enough, really. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Just also to say that in Ipswich we're meeting at Cozy Club tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So if anyone wants to come along, or if you guys that live further afield, if you've got potentials in this area, you can send them along. Don't think that you can't send them along. That's a great thing to do as well. We'd like to try. We'd probably do a live link from it and have a bit of a laugh, as we usually do. So I shall try that. But yeah, you know, I think that's about it. We'll wrap this up. If you can put a post up on Facebook that you had another Zoom call, that would be great, because that gets great interaction. And to be honest, that's the other thing I want to say. If you notice people like your post that are non-Juice Plus people about the Zoom call, chase that like, message them and say to them, you know, these Zoom calls are amazing. Have you ever been on a Zoom call or something, you know? We have such great fun in these Zoom calls, you know, this is how easy it is to do this business. Have you ever thought about doing the business? Just, you know, do that, say those things. So if people, because I find people like those sort of posts and I message them, you know, something as simple as what I've just said is a decent, is a perfectly all right to say. And so definitely be doing that. So guys, lovely to see you all. Thank you ever so much for getting on. And I've recorded it, so hopefully that will go later on. And we'll catch you all later. Speak to you soon. Bye.